5-0 on your ass, don't get stuck. My shit blasting up. Window tinted, can't get caught. My bitch bad, sport more leave you on your ass, taking up.
Yeah. What's the deal, everybody, man? This is Ricky Montoya checking in, a.k.a. the fooest of all bears, and you are now tuned in to I Think You're My Driver podcast, with today being a very, very special episode of Who's in the Passenger Seat, featuring my passenger princess. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. It's Sydney. Groovy Shigo.
Groovy Shigo.
Yes. And it's Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day from the Foo Bears ourselves. So thank you so much to everybody who has always tuned in. Of course, you know, this is one of my favorite passengers that I have here on the pod today. So we're going to go ahead and give y'all a very, very funny episode because we got some good notes lined up. So today's titles episode is going to be called, Ooh, She's Stealing. Oh, she's stealing. And if you guess, I'm not the one with the 5-finger discount. It's my passenger next to me.
It was the old me.
The old you, you know. What was once you is always gonna be you, but that's okay.
No.
Okay, no, you're right. I'm joking.
Not that one, no.
So I kind of want to just, get right into it, because one of the things that I thought about whenever we were writing out this episode is, why were you stealing so much growing up?
You know, I don't even know. I used to literally pray to God and ask him to help me.
Oh, my goodness.
And it wasn't like a teenager. No, I started stealing 6 through 14? No, 6 to 13.
Okay.
But not consecutively. It was kind of off and on. It was embarrassing. But yeah, I used to just like keychains. I like keychains and cute little things. And my mom would always say no. And lip gloss. So I just would take it.
You would just take it. I mean, hey, you just got to do what you got to do sometimes. So I don't blame you.
It was bad. My brother Chris used to call me swiper no swiper. That used to piss me off so bad.
It's because he would see you. He would catch you in the flesh when you're really at it. Now you said you were about 8 when it started?
I don't know. I think I was 6 or 7.
Or 7. So
Maybe 7.
If you're 7, what are you, second grade or first grade?
No, it was first grade.
First grade. Wow. Okay. So do you have anything from that time specifically that really stuck out as far as stealing?
I mean, there was this one story.
Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Okay, so I used to wear chapsticks, lip glosses and stuff like that. And of course, my mom was always saying no, because she would always say if it's on sale, yes,
right,
but chapsticks don't go on sale like that. So I was in Target because that was our place, and I just really wanted some chapstick. That's all. I just wanted the cherry flavor, and she kept saying no. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it, And so I just put it in my coat pocket, and at this time I was still trying to understand barcodes, barcodes that would go off at the door, I thought, you could just put your hand over it or something, or just rip it off the package or something. I don't know. So of course we go out the door, and the thing starts dinging the door. But I stayed so calm because I'm just it's not even that big of a deal. I think because I was just so calm about it, I was like, they ain't gonna catch me.
Right.
I'm 7 years old. They ain't gonna catch me. And so, my mom would go through her cart and it would be empty. And then I would try to go with my mom, and they was no, separate. I was oh, what? And so they maybe walked through by myself, and it started dinging. And the lady, the manager, she was so nice. She was is there anything in your pockets? I was mm-mm. And she was well, can you check? I was I mean, okay. So I took out one pocket and showed her, how you could turn your pockets inside out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did one for that side. And then whenever I was turning out the other pocket that had the chapstick in it, I just rolled the chapstick in my sleeve.
Oh my goodness.
Because I had a coat on, a puffer jacket on. And so I pulled out, there was nothing. And I'm gonna sit there and put my hands up, see, I ain't got no, not hands up like someone about to try to shoot you or something. I'm like, hands up, like, see, I don't have nothing, I don't know what y'all tripping about. And so my mom was like, I don't know why that's happening. And my mom's like, well, you know what? I did get her coat from Target, so maybe that's why. And they just start talking about it, and I forget what the lady was saying. I think she even told me like, stealing is wrong. I said, I know, I would never do
Oh
that.
my
Like,
goodness.
I don't know.
Whole
It was
chapstick in your
all
pocket.
for a chapstick. I don't know. So this is where it gets bad. We got home, and my mom was telling Chris about it, and my dumbass forgot that I stole it, and so I was using it right in front of and my brother's gonna be like, wait, isn't that the one right there? I was like, huh? What? What'd you say? No.
Oh my goodness.
And so I was like, I had to lie. Say, no, this is from my dad's house. I don't know. I didn't steal this. Why would I steal a chapstick? It's a
Right.
chapstick, So yeah, I used to just steal for no reason. I don't know. I just wanted little knickknacks. So let this be a lesson. No, lesson learned. If your kids ask for something under $5, just buy it for them so they don't have to steal it. Damn.
I mean, that is the truth because everybody knows that when it comes to kids, they're always going to find a way to get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And most kids, they're either going to just throw a tantrum or find a way to convince you to get it, or they're just going to take it.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. I don't know. And like at that time, I used to pray like a lot. I used to be like, Lord, please help me. Like, I don't want to steal no more. I can't stop. Like, it was an addiction. It just felt good to just steal like a little keychain.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what it was. I need help.
So when it comes to like keychains and stuff like that, like what about it? Was it just kind of like the look of the keychain that'd be like, you know what, I should go home with this?
No, it was like Hello Kitty.
Okay.
It was like, oh, I love Hello Kitty. And I also like just like little knickknacks. Anything I can put in my pocket or like hold on to or like put in my shoe. I just
Yeah.
wanted like something that I don't know. I can't remember why. I just remember like, oh wow, that's so cute. It's so little. Like I just want it.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Now with that time when you were doing a lot of like, I guess you could say small item stealing, was there one item that you took around that time that just was just like an accomplishment that you're able to get out of the store?
No, because I wasn't trying to like steal. Like I tell you, I felt like I was sick. I felt like I was a sick person. I used to pray to God, like, Lord, help me, deliver me from this evil.
Deliver me from the evil.
I used to like, you go to church and like you go up to, because my mom, growing up, I didn't know what religion we were because I swear, like, my church was a church, but it was very like Catholic vibe.
Right.
But then my mom would also buy dreidels because they were on sale. So like I was like, am I Christian? Am I Catholic? Am I Jewish? Like I don't know. So like when we would go up to like the front, like the altar, like you go up there and you like kneel and like the father like puts I think it was Ash Wednesday. I don't remember. But I was up there. I was like silently praying to myself, like, Lord, just deliver me from this. Because I didn't want to steal. I just did.
Right. It was just
I
impulse.
know. It was like impulsive. And I was like, I wasn't even trying to like go to jail or nothing. Like, I just couldn't stop. I don't know. Something was wrong with me. I used to pray about it.
Oh my goodness. That's like funny to like think about that because I feel like most kids, they're always gonna find a way to like be cute and get out of it like that.
No, my big head, I knew I couldn't get away with that. No.
But you're able to manage how to do it. See, I don't have anything in my pocket.
See, that wasn't me trying to be cute. That was me trying to be sly.
Okay.
Once my brother kept calling me Swiper, from Dora, I was like, well, shoot, maybe I am,
I yanked it.
I was just, I just wanted chapstick. That was just the end of the goal. Like, I just wanted the chapstick. And that's the thing. My mom would buy me chapsticks, but I would lose them. I would leave them in the dryer. So, like, once I needed some more, she was like, I'm not buying you anymore. Okay, so now I got to steal.
Now I got to
Thanks
steal.
a lot.
Now the question is, did you lose the ones you stole?
Probably. Because, like I said, they always went to the washer and dryer.
Oh my goodness.
Where I would leave them. Like, so yeah, I was always losing it. It used to make me so mad.
It's so funny to think about that because it's like, I think about that with our babies. Like, especially because like they like to take the toys from each other.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, that's kind of just like a real, like, easily leveled thing as far as a kid. So I always think about that when it comes to taking them in the store. That's why I don't let Aubrey roam around a lot. I'm like, you're gonna sit in the cart because I don't need you telling me like, look, Dad, look what I got. Because you
No.
know her, she's proud of stuff that she takes.
Uh, my baby does not
Okay, she don't
steal.
steal from the store, but if she takes something from Willow or takes something from us, she'll come up to me like, look what I got.
That's true, but you know what? I just think that our kids are just different from me. Like maybe all my praying worked. You
Maybe on
know,
my brain.
I don't see our kids acting. I mean, tantrum wise, yes, but stealing, I don't think our kids will do that.
Mhm.
I don't think it would be necessary to steal at that time because, like, our pantry, well, not our pantry, like, our linen closet is full of chapsticks and stuff. So, like, I don't want her to go down that rabbit hole.
I mean, I'm with you. I think about that a lot. Like as far as like the karma that would come with stealing,
Oh my God.
not everybody gets like caught and has to pay fines. But I actually got reminded of this because I had a passenger once that I picked up, and I was picking her up from the Hobby Lobby warehouse. But specifically, I was picking her up from like the little medical center that they have on site. And when she got in the car, she was like telling me, she was like, yeah, she was, I work for the Hobby Lobby warehouse and I got hurt while working. She was like, I think she like busted her leg or hurt her back or something like that. And she was like, man, it's just so crazy to think about like me getting hurt pushing like some of these pallets. She was like, because before I started working at Hobby Lobby some years ago, I used to have a jewelry business where I made bracelets and necklaces and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And she was like, majority of the time, I didn't really have the money to buy any of the stuff, so I would just go to Hobby Lobby and I would steal it. She was like, even whenever I started making money, it's like, oh, okay, I can buy this. But she was like, it got to the point where I was like, I've been getting away with this for so long. Why am I going to buy it? Like, I'm going to make my money double times if
Oh
I just
my
steal it.
God.
I don't have to pay any profits. And I was like, kind of clever. Okay, I'm kind of with you a little bit. And she was like, but it's just ironic to like think about how like karma really comes in because like I was so happy. Like I never got caught. I never got fined. I made all this money with all this jewelry. Now here I am working at Hobby Lobby, pushing these pallets, and the exact same pallet that made me get hurt was all the jewelry pieces I used to
Oh,
steal back
see,
in
and
the
that's
day.
why I'm like, oh Lord, please, like, don't remember how I used to be. Okay, I was under a minor. Like, I was under 10 years old.
My goodness. Now don't let a chapstick commercial come out and be like, "Did you buy chapsticks between the years 2004
Oh
and
my God.
2009? You might have mesothelioma."
Oh my God. I'll be so, I'll turn off the TV so quick.
I'm with
Get
you.
that right off. Oh my God.
That's so funny. And it's like when I think about like little things being taken, especially like as a kid, it reminded me of a story that you told me about
Oh
how
Lord.
you were part of a little group that stole some things. So do you want to remind me of the story of the group of people that stole?
Oh, when I was in San Antonio.
Yes.
See, and that is what I was like, I will never even think about stealing again. Like, hell no. Like, and that's the thing. Okay. So I used to be in band. Yes, band girly. What's up? First chair.
For
You
sure.
know, I
Hold on.
love being in band. Yes. So, eighth grade, we all think we was like so grown when we were in eighth grade. I don't know why, but like we always did. And so I had this friend at the time, her name was Julia, and we were like best friends for a little bit. And she was in choir and I was in band. So of course the band and the choir would go like on a trip. And I'm from like I went to school in like a small town in Oklahoma. So going to San Antonio, like, what? Like, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm grown. Like, let's
For
go.
sure.
And so, we're going down there and stuff. And, like, leading up to it, we kind of, like, were proving to each other, like, I mean, if you still, I ain't gonna say nothing. And if I still, you better not say nothing. So, like, we were, like, practicing
Oh
stealing
my
up
goodness.
here. Like, I was stealing, like, mascaras. And, like, I tell you, every single baby lips from that Maybelline makeup company, I only paid for, like, maybe 2 in my lifetime. I stole every single one of those. Like, I used to be like, oh, yeah, I need this color. I don't have this color yet. I'm like, you know what? I lost this one in the dryer. Okay, let me go ahead and steal 2 just to make up.
Wait a minute.
Yes. Still, I had to, like, get, like, like a nice little inventory going. And they were only $4, but they never went on sale, so my mom wasn't trying to buy
For
them.
sure.
And I was just a fiend. And so when I was still like the mascaras and baby lips, I would literally slip it into my shoe. Like I'll pop it out of I would go take the mascara to like the shoe area and I would pretend that I was trying on shoes and stuff. And so I would put the mascara like under the box, like of the shoe that I opened, and then like hurry up and rip it open, leave the trash with the shoe, and then basically put the mascara in my real shoe, and like basically like I would basically just hold it in my shoe and just be walking. And I had like the little Van slip-ons, so it was kind of easier to just hide it, but it's just kind of awkward. So I would only do that towards the end of the shopping trip with my mom, so that
Right.
way, I didn't have to spend extra time in the dang Target. So we would text each other like, "Yeah, girl, I just stole this. Oh, girl, I just stole one too. I just stole some eyeliner. I just stole this, stole that, whatever." And so, when we went to San Antonio, we even went to like Victoria's Secret. We just started stealing panties too.
Oh my goodness.
We were just stealing everything. And I told her, I was like, "Yeah, girl, I think we should like kind of slow down. The block's kind of hot, you know?" Because I mean, everyone knows that when you steal, you can't stay in the area. Like it has to be like on a way out. Well, we're with the rest of the other students and bands. So we had it scheduled to be at the mall for like 6 hours.
Oh goodness.
And then when we're done, go to the Hard Rock Cafe, like right next door. And we were doing all this stealing in like hour 3. I was like, girl, we gotta slow down. Well, actually, wait, the panties was the day before because we went to the mall twice.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So then we went back the next day and we were talking to like some of the old friends, and she's like, "Yeah, we're just going to Dillard's." I was like, "Yeah, we should go into Dillard's." So we go in there looking at shoes, and like I thought it was so crazy because I don't think Dillard's is used to people stealing. That was my first time ever seeing a store have both shoes on display. I was like, "What?" Because usually, go to like a shoe store, they only have one.
Right.
Or if it's a place like Target, of course they're gonna have them out. But I'm talking like, Dillard's was selling like Sperry's and, like Jessica Simpson shoes,
Yeah.
and Uggs and like all this other type of stuff. And most times they would just have the display size of like a size 6. So ain't nobody stealing that.
For
That's
sure.
the smallest size, No, they made a mistake because they had some Sperry's out. And the Sperry's were a size 8, which was both of our sizes. And she was like, "I want those." And I was like, "Girl, no. Like, we cannot steal those," because that was a lot. Sperry's at that time were like, what? I mean, not a whole lot, but $65 compared to like some lip gloss that's $4. I'm like, girl, that's high stakes. I'm not going to
High
jail.
stakes.
I'm like in a whole nother state. And we have to be at this mall for 3 hours. Like, that's just the logistics of that is just not smart. Like, don't do that. And I kept telling her, like, don't do this. She's like, "No, girl, like, just watch this." And I was mad because those shoes really were cute. They were like the
Right.
little Sperry's, but like cheetah print. And I love cheetah print. And so,
I think I remember those too.
yeah, so like she's like, "No, watch this. Follow me." I was like, "Okay." She goes, she puts them on in front of the bathroom. The old man sees us. And I was like, "Oh my God, we going to jail?"
We're going to check.
And she was like, "No, he didn't." She's like trying to like, get me together. Like, "Girl, stop. Just don't look at him." And I was like, "I already made eye contact." Like, I'm like, "Girl, put him back." She's like, "It's too late now. I'm walking away." And this girl walked out the store with them shoes on. And because they were on display, they didn't have like any tags or anything on them at the time. And I'm just like sick to my stomach. I'm like,
Oh
"Oh
my
my God." I'm like, "I'm going to go to jail. I'm never going to see the day of light again." Like, I was so scared. And like, not only that, because we went to other stores and like we caught up with like some old friends. And for some reason, like when we went to go hang out like in the Zoomies store, how like Zoomies have like a little couch.
Yeah.
The worker was so nosy. Like, he was basically in our conversation. I was like, "Dude, get away from us," And she was like, "Hey guys, look at my feet." And they were like, "What?" And she was like, "I stole these." She's like, "From Dillard's." I was like, "Why would you say that?" Because I'm looking at this guy, look at us, saying that we just stole these shoes, and he just looked like a person who was like telling you.
For
I was
sure.
like, "We gotta get out of here." And like, I was just freaking out, and I didn't want to talk to her that day. I was like, "Why would you do that? I told you not to do that." I was like, "I swear to God, if I go to jail because of you, or I get in trouble because of you, because I didn't steal them." But I was,
Yeah.
because I was with her, I'm like, they might lock my black ass up too,
My goodness.
So that was the day when I was like, I'm never going to steal again. And straight up, I never stole again because that's when it got real, because it wasn't like $12 eyeliner no more, This wasn't
Right.
something you could just put away. Like, I'm like, I hear that, if you steal from the mall, like, they'll like literally lock you up.
For
And I'm
sure.
like, I'm not going to jail at 13 years old. Like, hell no. So that was the final time I ever stole or was a part of a stealing little micro ring. But I was like, yeah, I'm never doing that again.
Man. And it's crazy like thinking about that, especially like in like middle school, because that's when I feel like we're always trying to do something impressionable to either impress our friends.
Yeah, or you just think you're invincible because you're like, I can't go to real people jail. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna go to a juvie, they're gonna make me pay a fine. I can't get my license till I'm 18. Like stuff like that. But like even then, I was like, playing. It was just a game. I was like, I don't want to play that. I want to still. At the time, like, we should still lip gloss, girl. Like, we should do like little gifts of it. She took it up.
Man. And I get you. Cause like I remember like the first time when I was still in like in seventh grade, I used to live next to this CVS that was on the outside of our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this friend at that time. His name was Chris. And like Chris and like a couple other people, they'd be like, bro, we go to this CVS all the time. We always steal. Like whether we steal candy, we'll steal, this. Just seems like that's just what we do. It's right here. We just go right home, just walk out like nothing.
Yeah.
And so at this time, Chris, he had broke his wrist. I think it was his left wrist or something. He was like, all right, man. He's like, so this is what we're gonna do. He's like, you go in there. He's like, you find what you want. He was like, you might want to just steal some candy. Just make it easy for yourself because you probably never stole before. And he looked at me. He was like, you've never stole before. He was like, so listen. He was giving me like a 411 lesson on how to be a robber,
Oh my
basically.
god.
And so I was like, okay. I was like, I'm in my orientation class at that time, so I'm feeling good. And he goes, all right, man. So we're going inside. He was like, we walk in the front. He was like, probably gonna grab some candy. You get some candy. He like just walk around the store. Figure out where you want to go. He was like, just don't make yourself look obvious. And he's like, obviously, don't walk next to me because I'm stealing too. He's like, we're gonna walk out, not at the same time, but if you see me going out, he was like, you're gonna wait for me. He's like, I'm gonna give you a signal. That's when
Not
you
the
know that I'm heading
signal.
out. Literally. So I think he went and grabbed like a pack of Skittles or something like that, and he like put some of the Skittles inside of his
Like jacket sleeve.
what are they called? Not the jacket sleeve, but in the cast
Oh
because he had broke
wow.
his wrist. So he stuck some of the Skittles in there, like, and it was wrapped. No, he broke his finger because it was wrapped around his finger. So he had it like this to where he could just like pop it in his
Oh
mouth
my
like a little Pez.
nasty.
And so he did that. I was like, dang. And I was like thinking, I was like, okay. I was like, well, I guess I could just steal some gum. I was like, let me just get some, at that time, this is the 5
yeah.
pack gum. This is when it was big. Ooh. I'm like, yeah, because then if I steal the 5 pack gum, we could use the
Excuse
little
me?
papers for rolling papers. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking innovative. Yes, listen, I was thinking on my toes.
What?
I was like,
Okay.
this would be innovative for later. So I was like, okay. So I went and grabbed the whole pack and I ripped it open in the back. And I was like, this looking all scared. And I went into an aisle and I ripped open the gum and I took it out and I dumped all the thing and I put it all in my pocket. And I walked out and I was like, okay. I was like, well, I guess I have some gum to chew whenever I'm leaving out. And so he walks out and he had it like in his cast, like a little Pez machine. He just like dumped it out of his other
my
hand. It's like that. And as he was walking out of the store, I think I was like 3 aisles from the exit. And I saw him looking. He looked at me and he just like continued walking. And I was like, okay. I'm like, so I'm gonna wait for him to leave. And then whenever he left, I remember I was walking out and like the CVS clerk was like on the left side, right there by the door. And I was like, as long as
Yeah.
I don't look at them, they're not gonna know that I stole. But I know they
Right.
know we stole because we're the only 2 people in this whole
Right
entire
after
store
school too.
at 3:45. So we literally walked out, and I remember he was like, "What'd you get? What'd you get?" I was like, "Man, I just got some gum." He was like, "Some gum." And I was like, "Well, what did you get?" He was like, "So I got
Right,
some
like
Skittles." I was like, "Okay, so it's like, what are you trying to make fun of me?" And I remember just like thinking to myself, I was like, "Dang!" I was like, "It was that easy." I was like, "That's it." And this CVS at the time, it was open 24 hours, and I used to walk to school sometimes. So going there by 6 in the
What?
morning, nobody's paying
Dang.
attention. So I started going in there. I started stealing lighters. I stole lighters.
To buy a
I tried to
lighter?
buy it one time.
Oh, probably for
I
people
didn't know
who be
that you
doing like
needed an
arson and
ID
stuff like
to buy lighters. Yeah, see, I didn't know that at the time. So like I went in there and I was trying to be like a good Samaritan. I was like, "Hey, I got $5. That's only 3." He was like, "Oh, do you have your ID?" He was like, "You need to be over the age of 18 to buy this." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah. So if you're under the age of 18, I can't sell this to you."
That's so embarrassing.
So I was like, okay, man. I was like, I'll just go ahead and go put it back. It's okay. No, I stole that shit. I ripped it out of the package.
Oh my
Put
god.
it back on the shelf, and I walked out. And I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these 2 lighters. We didn't have no candles in the house, no
Just
nothing.
having it just to have it.
Yeah, I was like, well, just in case if somebody needed to light a bonfire or something, I'm ready to go.
Really?
Yes, I was
At
ready.
least
all
when I was
occasions.
stealing, it was because I had chapped lips. Okay.
You don't want to know the next thing that I stole that I absolutely was not using. I
What?
stole a pack of condoms too in middle school too.
Boy,
I remember like I went in there about
you're
6, 7 in the
nasty.
morning, and I remember I like ripped open the big ass box, and this is when Fire and Ice came out. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get these. Some be ready to use them. That thing sat in my backpack for probably like a year and a half.
It probably expired, huh?
Probably
Or
did. I
you
was
give it
giving
to
them out to
somebody?
my friends.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I felt like the sex ed teacher or something. I was like, "Hey man, if y'all need, I'm helping you stay protected. We don't want to have babies at this
Oh
young."
my gosh.
Listen, man, I was trying to lead the pack,
No,
but
wrong path.
yeah, wrong path for sure. Because that definitely didn't stop. I remember my friends they used to steal watches from Walmart too. This is in the era of like the G
Oh,
Shock era too, and I can't remember the name of the brand, but it was like an off brand that they used to sell at Walmart that looked exactly like it. And all of them had one. It was like Chris and like four of them. They all had like one had a black one had a white one, red
yeah.
one, and the other one he was like, "Yeah, my mom she buys me a couple, so I got like three of these, but this one I stole." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And so he one of my friends, his name was Austin. And he was like, "Hey man," he was like, "You could have this one." He was like, "Cause I have three of them at the house that I stole. So if you
Oh
have
my
this one, it's
god.
really not gonna make a difference." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So took home the watch, and I felt like I was like, "Dang, my mom never buys me stuff like this." And when I walked in and went to the store and saw it was like $25, I was like, "My mom's
Mm-mm.
definitely not buying me this." So I didn't even ask. So I had the watch for probably about a week, and then my mom was like, "Hey, where'd you get that watch from?" And I was like, "Oh, my friend gave it to me." And she was like, "You don't know where he got that watch from. You don't know he could have
Your
stole
mom
that
was
watch from
dead
you. Why
right.
are you just accepting stuff?" Yeah, and I was like, "Damn, how did you know?" So I was like, "Okay, let me go ahead and get rid of it." So I think I ended up like throwing it away. I don't remember if I ever gave it back to him, but I remember I was like, "Let me just throw it away because if she
Mhm.
asks about it, I don't have it anymore." So then we ended up going to that same Walmart like maybe like a week or so later, and I saw the watches and I was like, "Huh." I was like, "Let me just pick it up. Let me see how easy it is to steal," because they had like 6 or 7 of them, so obviously they're easy. They had like no like um that they didn't have like a
Mhm.
zip tie or anything to tie it to the box. So it literally just like it had like a little ring that you could just
Oh
slide the
my
watch
god.
into. You could just take it right off. Like
Oh my
no
god.
alarm, no nothing. So I was like, "Oh, what?" So I went into the fitting room. I took it off. I
Mm.
broke the box down. I just stuffed it under the chair that's inside of the
And I
fitting room,
remember
and I put it
like
in my
I think
pocket.
I had that for
And
like
I
a
walked
month.
out, but I kept like putting it in my drawer, and I would pop it out every once in a while whenever my mom would leave for work. I'm like, "Yeah," put on my cool watch that I stole.
Yeah.
And like I remember she saw it. She was like, "Wait a minute." She was like, "Ricky, wasn't that watch that I told you to give back to your friend and you still have it? You
Huh?
lied to
What?
me."
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, literally. She was like, "You lied to me. You said that you gave it back and you still have it. I need you to give it to him today." Today. And I was like, "I did give it back. That's the one I stole. Shit."
Oh my god.
But she had no idea. And that was like the thing that cracked me up. I was like, "Wow." I was like, "So it's that easy to just do this, just keep it moving?"
Yeah.
But after like middle school, I was like, "Okay, I don't think I need to do this." Like that high ticket out, high ticket value item was the highest that I
Yeah.
stole.
Well, that did remind me. I did stage 2 heist
Oh
when I
goodness.
was in 3rd and 4th grade. I do remember those.
Oh my goodness. Let's hear these.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with the one from 3rd grade. Okay, so me and I had a best friend at the time. Her name was Nicole, and our teacher. I don't know if these rings were real, but I strongly believe
Right.
that they were real. She put a pink diamond ring and a red ruby ring in like our you know like like your teacher says, "Oh, you did a good job. Get something from like the treasure chest."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she put it in there and she announced it. She was like, "Okay, guys, like if everyone's I forget what the stipulations were. I think it was like about grades or something." And she was like, "If you guys do really good on the test or whatever, I'll call everyone up by their name so you can get it." And we were like, "Okay, are you gonna do it like in alphabetical order or are you just picking it random?" She's like, "Alphabetical order." I was like, "Bruh, that's messed up because me and my best friend at the time, both of our last names started with the letter S.
Right.
And so obviously we're not gonna get that ring because the first girl who would have got the ring, she was gonna be like the third person called.
Oh, so she would have took that.
Exactly. You can only get one, and then that little girl's best friend, her name was right after hers. I was like, oh hell no. I'm thinking I want that ring, and because it was cute. Like, why would the teacher put that in there? And I know that they were real because they look like old lady rings,
Oh
So
wow.
it was real, but probably not like super valuable. So like maybe I don't know, but they were real. And so, we talked about it and we're like, girl, how are we gonna get those rings? She was like, I got a plan. And I was like, girl, I'm listening. So, we're at recess. Because this is the same day. Because she said the teacher was gonna announce it the next day. So she was like, we gotta act fast. We have to do it the day before so that way there's no issue. I was like, okay. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna ask this teacher at recess to go to the restroom. You go ask another teacher so that way we can go and meet each other in the classroom at the same time.
Right.
And I was like, okay, yeah, simple enough. And so, we reminded each other at lunch. Like we didn't step by each other. We were really, really smart for some little 9-year-old kids.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so she was like, okay, yeah. And so I saw her go to one teacher and I went to the other one. And so they let us go because obviously they're not talking to each other to ask, like, oh, did you let a kid go to the restroom? They didn't really have walkie-talkies because I went to a small school, so it didn't even matter. I think well, yeah, that part don't even matter. So we go inside the building and like the restroom was like right across the hallway from our classroom. And so she checked the door and she's like, is it locked? I was like, no, girl, it's not locked. So we went in there, we were quiet. We kept the light off because obviously, if you turn on the light, someone's going to know that someone's in the classroom and stuff.
Right.
So, we like crawl in there, we open the box, we're using like the hallway light as like our flashlight to see what's in the box, because we gotta be quick.
For
So
sure.
I was like, no, I want the pink one. She's like, no, I get the pink one because this was my idea. I was like, okay, okay, that's fine, whatever.
For sure.
She got the pink ring, I got the ruby one. And like we just did the digital dash. Like we got out of there and we just played like normal, And oh my God, the next day, because she was like, you can't tell anyone. I said, I'm not telling no one. I'm like, I'm not getting suspended. She's like, I'm not getting suspended either. So the next day, oh my God, it was hilarious. The teacher goes to announce it. We're looking at each other like, yeah, we did that. And the teacher, she calls out those two girls to come up there. And they threw the biggest fit. Miss Troop, the rings aren't in here. They're not in here. And they're crying, they screaming. And teacher was like, what are y'all talking about? I just put them in there yesterday. Yes, they are. Look again, because she's like, because these girls were known for like crying all the time,
Oh goodness.
And so she looked in there and she was like, wow, that is a shame that someone would come in here and steal those rings. And I was like, I know, like who would do that? Who did that?
Oh my goodness. Who did
Who
that?
did that? It's like we both looking around. We're like, can y'all believe that someone like really stole those rings? Like that was so sad. Like that was pitiful. Like we're really over here
Oh
just
my
like
goodness.
whoever did that, you're just shiesty. I can't believe that, And so that was my first heist. Very successful.
Very successful.
It was a clean getaway. Okay.
Right.
No one ever suspected anything. Cause this was like, what? Like, I don't even know what year this was. Whatever, like early 2000s. So there wasn't no cameras in the hallways.
Oh hell.
Like, none. There were no ring cameras in the classrooms and stuff. Like, I think there might have been one camera outside, but not really. That was just like a door camera. So my next heist, I was in 4th grade. And like, this time it was with 2 guys for the heist. And this time I was like, I pulled off a heist last year. I could do this again.
I could do this again.
This is easy. Like, this is my forte. I like this,
Oh my
Because at the same
goodness.
time, I stopped, Lord forgive me, I stopped praying to take the stealing evilness out of me. Because at that time, I stopped stealing from retail stores, as a kid. And I think I took like a break. And then that's when I got back into it around 3rd and 4th grade, So I took a small break. I was delivered for a little bit, but, I went right back.
You relapsed.
I really did hard. So this time, same plot, do it during recess because all the teachers are outside, And at this time, my teacher, her name was Miss Umberham. Yes, Miss
Umberham.
Umberham. I went to a country school.
Yeah.
I really did. So she always had Jolly Ranchers out. And I loved Jolly Ranchers. Like,
For sure.
I always wanted the green ones and the strawberry ones. But I can get down with all of them except for the grape one. I would only eat that if I was desperate.
That's the best flavor, but I'll let you continue.
And so, we got greedy. Because sometimes, you just want to eat those for just all day. But
For
she
sure.
would only give it to us if we did something good. So, we were over here trying to do the most. Like, that was the time I did the most reading in my class. all for Jolly Ranchers. So I was taking AR tests all the time. I don't know if kids still do AR tests. You know what AR test is?
No. What's
Okay,
that?
so at least in the state of Oklahoma, AR test is you read like the little books that you get in your school library, and then you take like a quiz on them, and they're all worth different points. And then like at the end of the year, you get like however many points, and like your teachers will, at least in my school, they would take us out to like Sonic and stuff. So
Oh,
that
wow.
year I had like 75 AR points, which is a lot because basically each book is worth between 1 to 3 points.
What?
Yeah. So you would only get like 13 points if you read like Harry Potter, like a huge book, you know.
Okay.
So I was
Okay.
like, well, I'm not. Yeah. Oh, I wasn't trying to read like all these Harry Potter books, and I would try to just take the test, and I'll fail it so bad because I don't know nothing about no damn Harry Potter. I don't know nothing about that. It's so. I mean, AR tests were like from I would say like first grade all the way up until like fifth grade, I think. Yeah, because it's just like an elementary type of thing. So really, it honestly really ended like at fourth grade, I think. No, it could have been eighth grade. I don't know. It don't matter. I stopped reading at that time. I don't care.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
would just, I'm trying to get all these Jolly Ranchers and stuff. So because I wanted the Jolly Ranchers, I ended up getting like 75 points at the end of the year because I basically read like 60 something books, you know?
What?
Yeah, so I got to go to Sonic too. And I got to go to Sonic with the two people that we did a heist with.
That is
Because we were
hilarious.
really just doing it just to get the candy.
Of course.
So, we kept asking her, like, can you put out more candy? She's like, we gotta read more books. You gotta read more books. And at this time, I was like, man, I'm tired of reading. I'm tired of reading.
I don't want to read no more.
Oh, I'm like, you know what? F this. We're gonna steal.
Oh my goodness.
So I put it together. And the two dudes, their names were Ryan and Brian Miller. And they were like best friends because it was so funny because they had the same last name and everything. But their names, it was Ryan and then Brian, you know?
Right.
And Ryan, he was white. He was like a country hippie cowboy dude. I don't know. It was just something, it was like really interesting.
Mhm.
And then Brian was just like a biracial black kid, you know? So
Right.
either way, we're just kids. So it didn't even matter. But it was just so funny how they were best friends. And so they did everything together. And so I brought them in on like the heist. I was like, all we gotta do is just wait till they go to lunch. Like we go to the recess. Y'all ask two different teachers to go to the restroom. And I'm gonna ask one too. And they're like, okay, cool. So we did. We meet up at the door. And we're like, all right, y'all ready to do this? I was like, yeah. And so I know, right?
Calm down, Griselda Blanco.
I was just missing my little shiesty mask. That's all I was missing. So, we get in there. I said, they was like, what's turning the light? I said, no, keep the lights down. Okay, you're going to have to crawl. So, we do like a little army crawl. It was so unnecessary, but it was a heist. Come on. So, we get in
That is
there.
hilarious.
I took this very serious. I wanted my damn candy.
I want my damn candy.
So, we went in there. We spent all the candies. I'm like, yeah, give me all the green ones. And I was like, okay, give me all the red ones. I'm stealing. I'm putting it all in my backpack and stuff. And then Ryan. He gonna pull up Miss Umberham's purse, talk about, hey, should we steal her wallet? He opened up. No. First he said, he pulled up her purse. She was like, should we go through her purse? I was like, no.
See, you thought you had everything put together. And he was like, let me tell you something.
You give someone an inch, they take a mile. Okay, because I said, we only here for candy. He was like,
Oh my goodness.
open her wallet, and that wallet was fat. That was a fat wallet, okay? Because her husband was rich. Like, everyone knows when you live in the country, everyone's rich, not because of like they work a 9 to 5, but because everyone has cattle, everyone has,
Okay, that
oil,
makes sense.
whatever the case is. Like, everyone has money in that way. So her husband, I think, was like an electrician, and it was like the early 2010, so people like debit cards were like fairly like new-ish,
Right.
So she just had cash. And that wallet was fat. She better be glad that I wasn't like crazy, because I probably would have stole 20. But I told myself, like, no, we're only here for candy, guys. If we steal out of her wallet, she's gonna know.
For sure.
Okay? They will find a way to figure out who went to lunch, like who went inside the building at this time,
She's not counting them Jolly Ranchers.
No. And although she did find out about the Jolly Rancher, she didn't know it was
really?
us, though. But we literally took half the bag.
Okay, I didn't know that part.
We took half the bag. What, you thought I was gonna
I'm-
get 2 pieces of candy? I
I
took
mean,
all
that's
the
fair. That's
greens.
fair. I wonder he was like, "Hey, y'all working on this? I'm gonna go to that wallet."
I mean, we were just digging in that basket into the thing, and he gonna pull out her purse. You think we should go through it? Oh my god, he pulled out that wallet, and I was like, no, guys, we have to stay
Gotta
focused
stay
here, because I'm like, I'm not trying to catch a charge,
Get out.
okay?
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that was like my second and final heist, but that was just iconic, and it was just so much fun. You know, she was so mad. I don't think she ever brought out Jolly Ranchers ever
I
again.
bet.
But I took half the bag, so it didn't even matter. You know, it was a really great time.
So how did it go whenever she found out? Did she like confront the whole classroom, or what did she do?
Oh yeah, of course you look at all the black kids first.
Okay.
Okay, because fourth grade is when we were learning about slavery and stuff, and she did not like. I don't think she liked black people, because this was also during the time of like the Obama administration, like the first round
Oh,
with
wow.
like
Okay.
McCain and stuff. And so okay, so this wasn't 2009. This was 2008. Okay. So yeah, she was pissed. Okay, because we, of course, none of us know at that time what like political stuff was. We were fourth grade. We only knew about George Washington and stuff like that.
For sure.
So, I started to like once I learned about slavery, I was understanding like racism, because I didn't know what that was. Like, of course, I would see like on That's So Raven, you know, like that episode when it was like they didn't want to hire me because I'm black. I That was like a surface scratch of racism, you know? I was
Right.
like, dang, that's crazy, you know? And you know, you'll hear the stories from like your aunties and uncles and everything like that. But I'm like, we're literally like 10 years old, so we don't really know what's like really going on. And so, of course, I started to kind of put some things together, because she would get so mad if we ever talked about like President Barack Obama. We're like, we're gonna have our first black president. And you know, we're 10 years old. So we're thinking like, oh, are all white people gonna be slaves?
Oh my goodness.
I was like, oh my God, like that's gonna be crazy. Like, I was like, oh my God, you know,
And that's you plotting on your classmates. You're like,
every single one of them that did me dirty, I was like, yeah, bitch, you're gonna be work for a hope. But I'm like, you know, we're just 10 years old, and like she would get so mad if we bring it up. And so she made us do like a in class voting. She's like, raise your hand if you think Barack Obama's gonna win. And you know, all the black kids, which was like 4 of us, we all raised our hand. And like there were like a couple white kids who raised their hand, but I think it was like probably like maybe 6
okay.
altogether, like us 4 black kids and like 2 white kids. And like the rest were white kids, and they all raised their hand for John McCain. And she's like, see, and that's why he's gonna win. I don't know why, but that like hurt my little soul so bad.
Yeah.
You know, so like whenever I did this heist, it was kind of like, yeah, bitch, like this is payback. Okay, I felt disrespected
Of course.
how she did that, and not only that, she sat all of us black kids in the back together.
Wait, in the back of the classroom?
Yes, because I was still learning about all this stuff, you know. So I'm just thinking like, oh, she just wants us here. Kind of weird how I'm sitting by the only black kids, but and you know, it's just like as you're learning about this stuff, you're kind of looking at everyone different, you know. Especially when they teach you about Martin Luther King, and all the white kids look at you like, dang, Sydney, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Martin Luther King. We wouldn't. I'm like, first of all, don't disrespect me, ho.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, like when you're like the only black kid, like people look at you like that, you know.
For sure.
And so I was like, like I'm here because I just happen to live in this area. It's like this is why I go to this school. Like, come on. So you know, all that was like going through my mind as I was creating this heist. You know, it was just really a payback.
I mean,
you know,
that makes complete sense.
yeah, and especially because like she had us watch this video where this enslaved man was getting beat by a whip. Now, of course, it was like for educational purposes only, and it was like a what do you call it? A
Dramatization or something. Like
yeah,
that.
however you say it. Yeah, just like for pretend. And this little white girl's gonna be like, "Can we watch that again?" Yes.
What?
The teacher was like, "Absolutely," and she go,
Absolutely.
"Absolutely." She go hit the little reverse button. We watched that thing like 3 times. I was like,
It's
okay.
like you want to watch it in slow mo. That's
Right.
ridiculous.
And so when I was like, yeah, I got some for your ass, bitch. I'm gonna steal all your candy.
See, if that's the case, I wouldn't be mad at the dude for taking money out of her wallet. I would have took the wallet.
But you see, I think that's like, because, you know, I still have a conscience and stuff. So I was like, I can't just steal out of her purse. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I'm like, then it's too obvious. And then if she finds out that 2 black kids were in on it, Oh, we gonna be probably expelled.
They're gonna stone you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So for that, I was like, no, we're just gonna keep it at candy and let this be a lesson. Okay. Oh.
That is crazy. That is
Yeah.
so funny. Like,
Oh, and plus my school believed in like beatings.
oh geez, wait a minute.
So oh yeah, that's a southern thing. In southern schools, I think I don't know, they might still do it. They call it paddling.
Okay.
So like I knew the kids who would get paddled all the time. And what was his name? Okay, his name was Riley Miller. And I asked him, I was like, did it hurt? He was like, man, no, it didn't hurt. I said, but did you cry though? He's like, yeah. He's like, I just got hit with a wooden paddle. But yeah, I mean, those kids were getting paddled like on a weekly basis, you know? So it was kind of like tears to it, you know, like your teacher get on to you, kind of like pulling cards. Did y'all pull cards?
Yeah, we pulled cards in kindergarten, but after that, not.
And the thing lasted all the way to third grade. I was like, okay, bitch, come on.
Oh, so they were looking for a reason to beat you
They
guys.
were looking. And, you know, they made your parents sign your paperwork because my mom's baby dad was evil. Of course, he signed that. And he gonna put that paperwork on top of the paper. Like, yeah, you pat her anytime you need to.
Nah, he was about to grab the little thing and be like, hold on, let me take my blood sugar real quick so I can really give you a signature.
Oh my! I mean, the school. It was just a southern thing,
Mhm.
you know. Like they would really, with parent permission, of course. So basically, like you would get like warnings throughout the day. You know, pulling your cards, you'll be sent to the office. But if you did something like that was just like absolutely like bad, like just not stealing, but just being bad at school, yeah, they would just paddle you.
That's ridiculous.
I saw that paddle. That paddle was long. It had holes in it and everything. I was like, oh, that's what y'all hit us with? Oh, y'all don't got to worry about me. So that's why I was like, when I said, like, we're just going to stick with the candy, I'm not getting paddled because y'all took a 20 and I only get like a dollar bill. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fair. That's fair.
I was not about to get paddled. I was not going to be like the first girl. All I knew was that it was guys, like little boys getting paddled. I never heard like a girl getting paddled at school, but like, yeah. That's like a southern thing. I hope they got rid of that.
They probably did. I know that was a thing for Catholic schools for a very, very long time. I think they just stopped doing it in like the 2000s. You know, the nuns, they don't play that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think if I'm not mistaken, like they stopped doing that like when I started school. So like 2004 is when they like put it into like, I forget what they call it. Like there's like the Catholicism nation or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Like the nuns who are over the schools, they put a whole like law for all of the people within the district under Catholic schools that they had to stop paddling because they had all rights to do it no matter what the case. Like it was basically at the teacher's discretion.
Which is messed up because we all know that some teachers don't like the students.
For sure.
Like straight up. I mean, you saw how the teacher was. I told you she did not like black kids. She put us all in one little corner. It would get triggered anytime we brought up President Barack Obama. Like this girl was crazy.
Crazy. And you know, it's crazy like thinking about that because I actually heard a story kind of completely off topic, but I heard a story about whenever OJ was on trial. This guy told a story about how whenever he was in, I think he said he was in middle school when this was happening. And he was like, I'm pretty sure my teacher was racist at the time because they watched like whenever he was on trial, like they watched like his, what do they call it? The sentencing.
Yeah.
Whenever they release it. And he said that whenever they were like, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, that she like stormed out of the classroom, that she was pissed.
Girl, you doing
she like
too
turned the
much.
TV off, like rolled the TV out of there. You know, it was on the rollers.
And why are you letting kids watch this anyway?
My point exactly.
Like I know true crime is a thing now, like where everyone's like really obsessed with it, but like at that time, girl, you make it seem like this is like the presidential inaugural or whatever. Like, what are you doing?
Like it was almost like she was like proud to be like, okay, yeah, he's gonna be guilty. And then when he
Yeah.
wasn't, she was like pissed. It was like, oh, whatever.
Girl, you're doing way too much.
Way too much. And I tell you, that's like the one thing that I always think is like so funny about like teachers is that it's like I can only imagine how hard it is to like separate your real personality when you're around kids who almost kind of like allow you to be yourself, but you can't fully be yourself because it's like, oh, this is my job at the end of the day.
I think what the problem is a lot of teachers. I know this really goes well with like middle school and high school teachers. Is that a lot of them they see themselves as like, oh, this is my second shot at middle school, my second shot at high school.
Yeah.
So like, of course, they're not gonna like certain students because they remind them of how they used to be a loser in middle school, high school. And you know what I mean? Like they get kind of triggered with it, and you're like, you need to grow up. Like I strongly believe, like if you can't separate yourself from that, like if a student triggers you, reminds you of like yourself when you were little, or some bully you had when you were 12, then you're in the wrong profession. You need to get help because you cannot do that. But I mean, that's just what it is, you know.
Yeah, and you know, I was like thinking about this, like with like people who go into the wrong profession or don't have a profession whatsoever. Because I remember there was one time I hung out with this kid one time and I never hung out with him ever again.
Oh
There's this
my.
kid, his name was Marco, and I remember he came to pick up me and an old friend of mine, and we are like, okay, we don't have a car, but he has a car, so like we could, go hang out with him. We'll go figure it out. And at the time, me and this friend, we didn't have any gas money to give him,
Mhm.
so he was like, well, I need something. Like he was like, because I don't have gas money. I don't have a job. My parents don't work. They don't give me money.
What?
So, and I'm like sitting there looking at him like, so why are you coming over here?
Yeah.
Why did you? And the thing on
Brokey.
top of it is he offered to come
He
pick us
just
up,
wants some gas money. I've had that
basically.
happen to me before, and I'm like, so you want to come all the way to my house so I can give you money? Girl, $5, $10 is not gonna make a difference if your tank is on E.
hmm
Okay, get a job, ho.
Yeah. So
Don't call my phone no more.
literally, so this old friend, he did this like he made this deal with them because I guess they were both like into like nerdy stuff. So they had like this new like I think it was like a Dragon Ball Z or a Naruto game or something like that. And he basically was like, "Listen, I don't have any money to give you, bro. I don't have a job myself, so I can't give you any gas money. But this is what I'm gonna do." He's like, "Every time you pull up, when you pull up, I'm gonna give you this game because the game was like $45, $50." He
What?
was like, "So this would be equivalent to $50 in gas. So it's like." You distribute it however the case. And he basically manipulated him to accept that as a form of gas money.
What?
Yeah, it was
But
the
he has
dumbest
to
shit I
go
ever heard.
drive to go sell it though.
My point exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was
That's not
like,
a real friend.
you know what? I don't need to be hanging out with you.
No.
So uh, basically, he comes to pick us up, and we get in the car, and he was like, "All right, bro, like, what are we doing?" Because it was like 4th of July, and I remember he was like, well, we can go to this park at this. For those of y'all listening, out of Duncanville, there's a park called Kidsville. That's where they have a 4th of July celebration every year.
Mhm.
Like, oh, we can go to Kidsville. Kidsville usually starts about 7, 8 o'clock, and it was like 2 in the afternoon. So it's like we got time to kill. So he was like, well, I don't got an outfit or nothing like that, so we can go to the mall real quick. And me and my friend were looking at each other like, I mean, we got what we're gonna wear. We're like, we don't got no money to buy anything. He was like, I don't either, but we'll figure something out. And so we're walking around, and we go into Dick's Sporting Goods. And I remember he was like, hold on real quick, man. He was like, I need to get some new socks. I need some shorts. I need some this. I need some that.
Okay.
He had like some like busted like shoes, no socks on,
Ew.
basketball shorts, and like a dusty like t-shirt with like bleach stains on it and
What?
stuff like that.
Uh-uh.
Like and like literally he was like, hold on real quick. And we saw him walk to the back, and me and my old friend were looking at each other. We're like, I don't know what the fuck he's
Oh my
about to do.
god.
And he told me, he was like, well, he said that he was about to go steal some socks because this little dirty mother effer don't got
That's
no
so
socks on. And I was like,
nasty.
wait, what? And like literally he goes to the back. About 5 minutes later he comes. He was like, all right, bro, y'all ready to go? And so he was like, yeah, I had to get me some new socks. He was like, of course, he was like, you can't go too high, so I got some Adidas socks. He was like, they're right next to the Nike socks, so they really check for
What?
those. We kind of looked at him like, the fuck are we doing? But he's all like, oh, we got to run. I'm not staying at the house. This and that. But like me in the back, I'm like, bro, why am I
That's
hanging out
insensitive
with you?
though. You
Like
steal some
you,
socks. Okay.
yeah. And on top of that, like the car that he had was, I mean, not to say that it wasn't like a super nice car because it was a car at the end of the day, but he had like this like 1997 like
Mhm.
Infinity car, and like the paint was like sanded over,
Oh
so
my
it was
god.
like kind of bluish. And then like in the back seat where I sat, there wasn't much room in the back seat because there was a
Did he
big
steal
ass
that?
rim that he had
Oh,
sitting right there because a donut. No,
maybe.
well, I don't know what he did with it, but there was a donut on
What?
the car because the tire that was on the rim busted. He was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "I don't got no money to buy another tire, so I've
That's
been riding
so
on this
nice. I
donut for
think you
like
can
three
only go
months."
like
And I was
what
like,
up to 10,000, not even 10,000 miles on that,
"Not even
right?
supposed to be over 100 miles. Like you're supposed to have the donut for.
Oh,
I think they say the recommended is like 25 miles."
yeah, like just to get a new tire. That's just, speaking of rims, it just reminded me of my mom's ex-husband. This dude was he was such a bum. He gonna rent rims. I never heard of
I
that.
never heard of that either until you
He
told
used to
me.
always park, okay, because he had a nice like early 2000s Suburban. It had the red interiors. That thing
Oh,
was clean.
for sure.
I will admit. And then he also used to smoke cigars, the Black and Mild. So that car smelled good. However, he was renting rims. And when the repo man would show up, that would be the only time he would ever park that thing in the garage. Because he liked to show off his car, so he always have it like parked
For
outside.
sure.
So the fact that he would only park it in the garage because the repo man was coming to collect those rims, I thought that was really embarrassing.
That is.
He honestly loved that car more than he loved his family. So I was like, okay, sorry. I just remembering you talking about rims, I'm like, wow, I never heard of someone like renting rims and then scared because the repo man was coming.
Oh my goodness. That's so funny to like think about it. Cause I remember when you first said about the renting rims. Like
Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that. I was like, what?
because they had started a program. I don't know if they still do this, but I think it was StockX or one of those websites. You could rent shoes. So like
I'm not doing that.
the nice Jordans, the Nike Travis Scotts, and everything like that.
That's crazy.
They're like, you don't
You're
want to
poor.
spend, yeah, you don't want to spend 1,000, spend this much and send it back in 7 days. I'm like, that's disgusting.
For a photo op, it's kind of like, okay, so when I used to work in corporate America, um, yes, when I used to work in corporate America, I would compliment. It only happened to like a few people, but I'd be like, oh my gosh, I love your outfit.
Right.
Like, yeah, they'll like shout out the company that they're renting it from. I'm like,
Renting.
yeah, like some people to like keep their wardrobe fresh, they'll just like do like those subscription based where you just rent your office outfits. And I was just like, it just shows you that even the people who make more than you are still broke.
Yeah.
And I don't mean broke like as an income, because there's, income could be poor, but I say broke as, to me, that's just broke.
Mentality.
Yeah, because I'm like, why you rent clothes when you can just buy them? You don't even have to, like, no one's checking your labels. Okay.
Seriously.
You just go to the thrift store, go to Old Navy, go to Marshall's, do what you gotta do, and just buy the stuff that you want, and then just buy stuff that you can like mix and match. I don't know. Like when I saw that, I was just like, I take my compliment back because you rent that, girl. Bye.
And you know what? I bet you they weren't renting it. They probably were doing that. I think it's Amazon, the Amazon wardrobe. You know how like you can pay like $50 and they'll send you like 7 different outfits and you
Yeah, I
get to
think that's weird
decide
too.
what you want to send back. So that's probably what it was.
Well, no, she told me the site,
Oh wow.
and it is like a renting type of thing. But I don't. For me, those like send you 7 outfits, you get to keep what you want. I'm like, those outfits are usually really ugly. Like you're usually able to find so much better stuff if you just get your lazy ass up and just go shopping. Because you don't really save any money, to me, in my opinion. I don't think you do.
You
Like,
don't.
just go to Burlington, go to Marshalls, go to the thrift, and just buy like, like your basics, and then buy some cool stuff on top of that. But I don't know. People don't know how to shop. Or maybe people just rather steal it. I don't know.
Of course, people
'Cause
much rather
I'm not
steal.
stealing nothing no more. I'm done. I retired that when I was 13 years old. And if I really want something, I will just affirm it. And if I can't affirm it, then I will just wait.
Man, but I tell you what, what is kind of satisfying is whenever you can, quote unquote, steal or get a free meal. That's always the best thing too. Yeah,
My
I know
gosh.
she remembers this. There was one time when I first moved to Oklahoma.
Yes.
I remember there was a Panda Express like around the corner from where we lived, and at that time, Panda Express was like, "Oh, we're gonna go here all the time." And we went in there one time and we sat inside. We got our little plates, ate our food, and while we're sitting there finishing up, we're talking. And I was like, "I'm still kind of hungry." And she literally was like, "She's like, I'm glad you said something because I am too. I'm
Yes.
still
Big
hungry."
bags for life.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? I was like, let's go ahead and get some more food. And I remember I think we got like a plate to go.
Yeah,
We got
2
like our,
plates.
yeah, something like that. And I remember we went back to order, and I think it was the chow mein or something we had to wait for. It might have been the chow mein. And while we're ordering, the people there are like, "Oh, well, we're still making the chow mein. It's going to be, maybe like 5 minutes, and then we'll have like fresh chow mein. Like, is it okay for you guys to wait?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure. Like, we're just taking it to go.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal." So, we're sitting there waiting. We're, talking amongst each other, just waiting for them to bring the food out. And I remember I saw the lady take the big old bin and like dump out all the new chow mein, and she goes to make the plate. And like we, stood up, walk over to her, and she finishes putting the food on the plate. And as she, puts the food on the plate, she bags it up, and she just like puts a bag together and just reaches over the little counter. and just like hands it to us like, oh, here you go. And I had my wallet in my hand, and I looked, and I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
saw
oh,
that cute, and I was like,
okay.
I started walking to the
Yeah. So I
door.
just put my wallet back in the back of my pocket. I look at her, and I was like, let's go. I remember we were like walking out the door, and we're like, walk slowly, slowly. But then as soon as we got outside of the door, we darted to the
We just
car.
started running. I was like, why did we do that? We were hungry. Okay, because at that time we were like, we just got our first apartment. Not only that, we were paying so much money for our apartment.
Literally.
It was a nice apartment. It was like a loft style, but like in the ghetto. But it was cute though, because it had potential. Like they renovated everything for us. I was like, okay, and we were paying $680. $680 is a lot when you're living in like a subsidized area, like where everyone's like on Section 8, which
Right.
I have no problem with Section 8. Okay, I think Section 8 is great. I think everyone needs to be on Section 8. Okay, if not Section 8, at least everyone needs to get free food stamps.
For
Okay,
sure.
we're hungry.
I'm with you on that.
So like something. So we were basically paying the most out of everyone at the place and stuff. So we didn't like really spend money on stuff. I remember that one time. Remember that one time we had to go to bed hungry
Yes.
because because I told Rick, I said, Noodle, can you please make us some tortellini? You're like, yeah, let me go drain it. All we had was like a pot and pan from my brother and his ex-wife, and they were so sweet to give us like one of their like old raggedy pots, because they were like, we just got some new ones, y'all can have this one. I was like, thank you so much, because like even though when we got this apartment, we had nothing. Okay, we literally just had like a bed,
Literally.
and but we were so happy. We had that and our little dog, little Ollie Wally, and so we didn't have a strainer, and I was like, are you sure you're gonna be able to like hold that over? They're like, yeah, I got the lid. Like you try to like get a little attitude with me, like, yeah, I could do this. I was like, okay. Ooh. Ricky literally dumped all of the freaking tortellini down the garbage disposal on accident. The way how my finger was touching his temple and I was yelling, I was so mad. I was like, thanks a lot, Ricky. We have nothing to eat. We had to go to bed hungry. We had no money. We didn't have a credit card. We didn't have nothing. We had to go to bed hungry.
I remember she stormed up the stairs. She's like, I'm going to bed. She walked around the kitchen, literally stormed up the stairs. I'm talking, doof, 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 doof. She was so pissed at me. I remember I tried to cuddle her up. She's like, get away from me. I'm hungry.
I'm like, if you ain't got no damn Qdoba, get away from me.
I'm like, oh, don't try to hug on me now.
I'm so hungry. Oh my God. So yeah, when we stole that food from Panda Express, I didn't feel bad because we were hungry.
Hungry. Super hungry. Oh my goodness. It was so funny when that happened too. Because I remember we were like, we're never coming back here again. We're not going to come back here.
Yeah. We came for like what, good like 3-4 months before we showed up back there. Just you gotta do what you gotta do.
Of course.
Okay, because if we was in college like that, like actively in college, people would be like, "Oh, you guys are hungry, college students." But it is what it is. Would I do that now? No, but the circumstances were different back then. We didn't have a credit card to max out. Like we were just whatever was our paycheck is all we had, and we made sure that all of our bills were paid on time.
Literally.
Because you remember, because we lived in that loft, it was poorly insulated.
Right.
And so remember how we used to have to drink hot cocoa from 7-Eleven to stay warm?
Yeah.
Because we only had like one quilt.
I do remember that. I remember you and I and Ollie just all up under the quilt with hot chocolate. Oh my goodness.
That was a time. It's like all these funny stories that just like build us into like who we are now. But that was so funny. But that does remind me, there was a time when I did steal from my brother twice.
Okay, let's hear this.
And it's from my brother Corey. And okay, they were food related. Okay, I've always been a big back, even though as a child I was very, very slender. Okay, like I was always like a size 3. Body was T. Okay,
Oh my goodness.
I'm still trying to get back to size 3, but it's okay. I had 2 kids, whatever. I still look good.
You got that
Okay.
right.
Thank you. But okay, the first time is whenever, because his kids were little. Okay, Jason, my baby, he was probably like 4 or 5. Yeah, I would say like 4, 5. Yeah, and Zara was just a little baby. Okay, so I used to buy like all the cute little baby foods, and I used to go over there. I used to tear up their food. got to the point where his wife was like, listen, we could buy you snacks, but you can't eat the baby snacks anymore. I was like, oh, is it that noticeable? Because I used to get him their pantry. I thought my brother was rich. I was like, oh, snap, I got fruit roll-ups. I
Oh,
got Gushers. Y'all have peanut butter cereal. Oh my gosh.
no, for real.
They always had name brand. And if it wasn't name brand, then it was like Target's off brand, which is still sometimes better than the real. And so,
That's a fact.
yeah. So one day, him and his wife, well, ex-wife now, but at the time wife, they bought cuties. And I was like, what? Cuties? What are these? I never seen an orange so small because I used to not like oranges because they were so hard to peel. And these, he was like, no, they're like genetically modified for children. Like they're small and they're easy to peel. I was like, okay, let me, can I have one? Let me just try it. And he was like, yeah. It like changed my life. I was like, oh my gosh. You couldn't just eat one. I had to eat like 6 at a time because they were so good.
Of course.
I can eat like a whole bag of cuties by myself. And so I kept, I'm trying to like keep in mind because like, his wife told me like you have to slow down on the kids' snacks. Like you're eating them all. I was like, you're right. You're right. I know I need to calm down. So I was trying to calm down, And I was like, I mean, if I like steal one,
Oh my goodness.
they won't know, And my mom was like, so I wait for everyone to like kind of calm down. When you steal, you're always supposed to do it at the end. That way you don't have to keep carrying what you were stealing,
Of course.
And so, oh my gosh, my mom, I thought she was, because they live in this huge house, like a 5-bedroom house, like huge, okay?
Right.
And so I'm thinking, like, I used to always like mentally time my mom how long it took her to drop off my niece in her room. She was still a little baby, so you want to hold them a little extra. You want to like, oh, let me turn on her little music, her little nightlight. And so I'm thinking, yeah, it's probably gonna take my mom about a good 2 minutes. Like I could steal a couple oranges and that.
Of course.
So I just started like putting them in my pocket, and I don't know what, but she like turned around before she even went halfway through the hallway, and she came back, and I was like my mouth was wide open because I was like, girl, what are you doing here? I thought you were supposed to be going down the hallway, and like I had 2 oranges. Okay, I say 2, it could have been 3. I don't remember.
It probably was 4.
Oh. Oh. So I just had this look. She's like, what are you doing? And I was like, huh? Well, what you mean? What? She was like, did you just take a cutie? I was like, no. I took multiple.
I took multiple.
I took them out of my pocket. She was like, why you steal that from the baby? I was like, because they're so good. I never had a cutie before. I just wanted one. You're like, you said you wanted one, but you have multiple, And so she was like, just take one, and then we can buy some in the morning. I was like, okay. So that, and you know what's funny? Because I had to bring it. Oh, wait. Okay, let me tell one more story about how I stole from their family one more time.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
It was food related. Okay. And then I'll tell about how I stole at my job when I worked at Wendy's.
Of course.
Food related, okay? And so, okay. His wife, she was taking me and my nephew to get those new Dorito tacos from Taco Bell.
Right.
And I was like, bro, this is so advanced. Like, I just thought it was so innovative. Like, how you change like a taco shell to be like a Dorito shell. I was like, what? And so she was like, well, how many do you want? I was trying to be modest, because I'm thinking like, if someone else is buying them for me, you shouldn't say you really want the real number. The real number I want is 6.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. But I was like, no, I just want 2. Just 2. And she was like, you sure? And she was really nice. When it came to things like that, like I said, I always thought my brother and his ex-wife were rich because whatever you kind of wanted, like they would kind of like buy it, like in a very loving way,
Right.
So I should have just said 4, But I was like, no, this is really nice that she's even buying me food in the first place, So I told her, I just want 2. She's like, okay. So I eat my 2, and I'm like, dang, I'm still hungry. I was like, this is kind of why I don't even eat at Taco Bell anymore, because you can't just eat 2 tacos. You got to get like the party pack and kind of eat it by yourself, And so she was like, I had the bag, and I was like, dang, I wonder if she'll notice if I eat one of her tacos. I don't think she'll notice. So I ate it, and I felt so bad, but each bite, it was so good.
Hell yeah.
because I had like the taco supreme, so I had like everything on there. And so we get to their house, and like she's rummaging through the bag. She was like, "I can't find my taco." I was like, "Shit!" So I think I need to go. I think I need to go upstairs and go hide because like I'm so embarrassed right now. Like I really just ate her taco. She was not playing about that taco.
Hell no.
Cause I don't blame her. She literally was like, "I asked you if you wanted another one." I was like, "I didn't want to. I didn't want to be greedy. I didn't want to be greedy. I'm sorry." Like I was like getting all quiet. I was like, "I'm sorry. Please don't yell at me. I'm so embarrassed." And she was like, Corey was like, "It's okay." She's like, "No, it's not." Cause I asked her. I was like, because I'm like, she had a very valid crash out.
For sure.
I mean, like, I bought you food and you ate my food. Okay, I was like, damn. So I felt really bad. But then what made me mad is that she threw away the other taco because she bought regular ones too. But because it wasn't the new one, she threw away the other one. I was like, damn, I could have ate that.
Literally, you're
Because
like,
I'm still hungry. Because I wanted like 4 or 6. So I only got to eat 3. So, I was really hungry and I felt so bad. I really did feel bad. Okay, and then one more story, okay? Fast forward, I started working at Wendy's, like my senior year of high school. At this time, I was like literally on my own,
right.
I didn't have no one giving me allowance. I had no one paying my bills, no one helping me, nothing. I was paying everything by myself, except for like my phone bill. Thank you, brother. And car insurance. Actually, no, I decided to pay that too. Yeah, okay. So I was paying for everything.
Mhm.
And it got to the point where, I'm only making 8 an hour and I'm paying for all my expenses, So my checks were like maybe like 320, I think, because I worked 25 hours a week, And so I'm hungry because I can't really afford groceries at that time, and because I was freshly 18, I didn't think I would qualify for food stamps, and I kind of figured like I don't really need the food stamps. Let's say that for people who actually need it. I'm just 18. I could just eat while I'm at work because I'm here all the time.
That is true.
And so, my managers, they were cool with it because I was like one of the best people there. I was very nice, polite, and all the good stuff. And that manager left. And so we got a new person in, and she wasn't playing with us stealing. Like she was like, "I better not catch not one of y'all in this fry bin. Y'all take a fry, you're out. You take a nugget, you're out." I was like, damn. And she was like, "I don't want to see y'all making food for each other no more. Y'all need to ring it up and you need to pay half price," because one of the coworkers there, Rebecca, she gonna sit there and brag like, "Yeah, at the end of the night, I'm gonna make my son a triple. I'm gonna make his baby mama a double. I'm gonna bring this home. I'm gonna take 3 what are those little ice cream things?
Oh,
Frosties.
Frosties.
I'm gonna take out." I'm like, "Rebecca, you're really saying all this in front of this new manager who just cracked down on us for stealing food. You really want to do that?" So she ruined it for all of us.
Of course.
And so it got to the point I was like, damn, like, because I used to steal. I'm not gonna even say steal because they would just let me. I used to just take like chili all the time for like my school lunch and stuff. So I wasn't gonna sit there and tell like all my business, but hello, I'm hungry. I have nothing to eat,
Literally.
So, she was cracking down. She was like, did you ring that chili up? I was like, no. She's like, "Let me go ahead and help you with that." She's gonna pick up my chili. And I was like, "Give it back." She's like, "You can have it back when you pay for it."
Uh,
I was like, "Okay, dumb bitch."
For real.
Hungry. So, it got to the point I was like, I'm not gonna be paying for food. I can't afford it, Like I gotta pay for all this other stuff. So I started like that same coat, because like I said, I've always been like the same size my whole life. So that same coat that my brother and his ex-wife bought me that I used to use to steal those cuties from their house. That same coat, which I still can fit it to this day. I love that coat.
Right.
I would literally wear that coat to work, and I would put chicken nuggets on my left pocket and then like the dipping sauces on my right pocket. And I would go into not the laundromat. Oh my God. I would go into the lobby and I would just like eat all the chicken nuggets I could put in my pocket. I used to put like probably like 6 to 8 nuggets. I would be like gobbling them down, like, because they weren't playing about that. And like once I finally told like a couple of people, they thought that was the funniest
It
thing.
is.
But they still were making us pay for the food, so I had to keep doing it until I quit. But
That's why I called you Nugget Head. That right
you
there.
did.
But it's funny. I'm gonna give you this last story because
Okay.
you just reminded me just like taking people's food. And
Oh, yeah. We got to talk about that.
okay.
Oh, I'm glad that you brought that up because I still bring it up to this day. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. I've been waiting to talk
Yeah.
about that for a hot fucking minute. Calm down.
Been waiting.
So freaking whenever this is like when I first moved to Texas, I think I was probably like in like 7th or 8th grade. And at this time, my mom didn't have a car yet. So we were borrowing my uncle's truck. My uncle, he used to drive. I'm pretty sure he actually still has his truck to this day. He had a 2001 F-150 single cab. So it's just the 3 seats in the front. So my mom, we're driving over there. And, for those of you guys listening, out in Texas and Cedar Hill, right off of 1382 and 67, the McDonald's right there on that corner. So this is about the time, this is the time of the McRib coming back.
Lord.
And
Nasty.
I've never really tried the McRib up until this day. And it's always been offered every time. When we go to McDonald's and they have it out, my mom's like, would you want to try it? And I'm like, no, it's okay. I don't want it. So this day we're going to the McDonald's and it's the same thing. She was like, hey, Ricky, she's like, I'm going to order me a McRib. Did you want to get a McRib too? Or did you want something else? And I was like, I know. I told her, I said, you know what? I actually would like to try the McRib, but I think there was a miscommunication between her
Allegedly,
and
huh?
I because, yeah, there was a miscommunication between her and I on that day for some reason. So she ordered the Big Mac like I always liked every time. And so, like I said, we're in the single cab thing. And so the lady hands the food, we get it. And I reach in the bag and I was like, oh, cool, the McRib's right there. And, we're still right there at the window. We haven't even pulled off. And I was like, cool, my McRib. I break open the box and I just start
3
going to
bites.
town. And like, I literally tore apart that sandwich. And like I say, this is McDonald's. We're
Yeah.
leaving the exit window to go out of the parking lot to go to that next stoplight right there on 1382. So it's literally not that far of a drive. And I'm not joking when I say this. I don't know why I was so hungry this day, but that day in particular, I literally ate like 3/4 of that
Gosh.
sandwich within like 3 minutes. And I remember my mom, she goes to like, all right, baby, can you hand me my sandwich and hand me my fries? And I was like, okay. And I go to hand her the Big Mac. She's like, what is this? And she was like, I had the McRib, Ricky. I had the McRib. The Big Mac was for you. And I was like, she was like, you ate the McRib? And I was like, I only ate a
meaning you
little
only
bit of it,
left
Mom,
a little
just
bit.
a little bit. And I told her, I said, I only ate a little bit of it. She's like, give me the box. Give it to me. I handed the box back to her. Oh my God. I handed the box back to her. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me, Ricky? She's like, Ricky, you ate the whole sandwich. What the hell? And I was like, I'm sorry. She's like, you said you didn't want it. And I was like, I said I would like to try it. I would like to try it. She's like, no, you didn't. She's like, that's why I got to the Big Mac. And I was like, okay. I was like, since you got me the Big Mac. She's like, no, ain't no sense. You got me the, give it to me so I can
try to
eat
eat
it.
both
I
of the
something
burgers.
else.
You Big Mac.
And man, I tell you, I literally left like the booty of the bread and the thing. So it was just that little
You're so wrong for
piece.
making. You almost made your mom
wasn't even
eat that.
I did. I ate all the rib,
Oh
all
my
the
God.
barbecue sauce. Oh my goodness. And it was like one of the things that I thought was so funny. And it was even funnier because it's like, usually when you're in the car with your parents, usually you're in the back seat. So,
Yeah.
you have a little bit of a leeway for them not to see.
Like
But we're
elbows to
literally in this single
elbows.
cab truck. So all she had to do was look. Yeah, we're elbows to elbows. The biggest thing.
Wait a
blocking us was
minute.
my sister,
Why you gotta
so
say it like
she
that?
really couldn't see anything.
That sound crazy.
Hey, listen.
You know what? You better hope she don't listen to this episode.
Anyways,
You are not right.
but it was just like one of the things where I was like, there wasn't too much in between.
You never added that detail before. I can't believe it's just the only big thing in between us. What the?
Yeah. Oh man, that was hilarious. But it was just so funny because like I don't know what it was. I could have swore I told my mom that I wanted a McRib that day, but apparently, according to her, I didn't.
No.
So either there was a communication between her and I, or a miscommunication between her and the drive-through lady. So,
Either way, you still ate.
either way, that McRib was pretty bomb. I remember I smashed it.
Well, let's not forget there was another time in your adult age where you did steal someone's food that you thought was for a human.
Oh my goodness! So of course,
Go ahead.
She's gonna
Tell
make
the
me-
listeners.
she's gonna make it close out on the story. So it is what it is. So.
Yeah.
When I first moved to Oklahoma, like I said, when I first moved to Oklahoma, we first had our first apartment. We we weren't poor, but we were, able to pay our bills, but just not have enough snack money. So I'm at this dealership, and for those of you guys who have worked at a dealership, it's a lot of sit around time. So I don't know about you guys, but if I'm sitting around, I'm hungry.
Hmm.
If I'm sitting around, so I'm getting into all these cars, and most of the time, if they got a little something in the car, I might take it. They got a pen, they got a
Disgusting.
charger, all types of stuff, and so somebody brought back the rental of the Lexus, and usually if they leave something in there, it's either up for keeps or you give it back to the lost and found. This one in particular, I was like, you know what? This is not going to lost and found. This is for me. And I look in there and I look and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Pre-vegetarian, of course. I was
Hmm.
like, oh, there's a beef jerky bag right here. So I'm overhead, go ahead and go into town. And I ate probably like 2 or 3 of the little beef jerkies. And I remember I was like thinking to myself as I was eating it, I was like, this tastes nasty. I was like,
Oh,
there's no flavor in this. And like remembering back to being a kid eating beef jerky, I was like, they usually got a seasoning packet inside of the bag. So I was like, if I reach in the bag and grab the seasoning packet, that'll usually make it taste a little bit better.
hmm.
Mind you, I already put the bag in the trash as I'm thinking this to myself because I still had a piece of the jerky in my hand.
Nasty.
And I literally go and I'm like, well, the trash can was like right there. So if I just reach back, I can at least recover the little seasoning bag. And literally, as I grab the bag out of the trash can, I look at it. It was not beef jerky. It was like the bacon strips for
He
the
ate
dogs.
dog food and
I
ate it
didn't
3 or 4
know.
times.
I was like, jeez. And I remember I spit it. I was like, what?
Oh, trust me, your body already digested the rest of it. Okay?
I wasn't concerned about the rest. I was concerned about the
I
one in my
still bring
mouth.
that up to this day because I'm like, first of all, why are you eating strangers' food? And then you didn't even read the package. And it's dog beef jerky.
I didn't know. But that's to let you know, stop being so damn hungry.
I can't believe it. When you told me that, I was like, because at first I was just like, okay, so you eat someone's food, nasty. And I was like stuck on that part. It wasn't until you said, like, yeah, it was actually for a dog. What the? Eating Fido's treats? Really? Eating little Max's food? And that's another reason, like, people always want to try to impress me, be like, hey, I made some vegan food so you can be included. I'm like, oh, that sounds vegan. Oh, actually, I'm on a cleanse. I don't accept food from people because you don't know what people's kitchens look like. You don't know if they let their cats on there. You don't know if they're using clean dishes. If this is food from that's actually fresh.
Hmm.
Because the last time I ever ate like at a potluck, this was my last time ever. Um, someone brought cheesecake. I'm like, oh, I love cheesecake. Okay, clearly this cheesecake was severely old. It tasted so sour. I was like, oh, never again. That was the last time. It was so gross. I'm like, I don't eat people's food. I don't care if you made it just for me. Don't do that. I'm gonna tell you. And I also don't accept food from people who I don't like. So each time my manager would always buy food, be like, you guys did such a great job, I would say I'm on a cleanse. Because I don't think that you should accept food from people who don't like you or you don't like them.
Facts.
Not because they're going to intentionally do something to the food, but for me, my love language is cooking for people. But what if someone don't like you? So like I put love in my food, but some people might put hate in their food. You know what I mean? Like just like the spiritual and everything. So me, hell no.
Man, that's a great callback to like the beginning of the episode because it makes me think about like all like the chapstick that you were taking and stuff like that.
Wait, hold on. Why we gotta talk about me now? Wait a minute.
Because it's like, like you were saying with the whole baby lips thing, you had an obsession with taking all those because they made you happy. But it's like, what do we know that they were putting in the products and you were just taking every last bit of them?
Well, you know what? I don't know. But they don't sell those anymore. And so it was a good thing that I did steal those. I stand on that. I'm sorry.
She don't feel bad. It's okay.
I don't. And I wish they'll bring them back. Because now I would actually do the right thing and actually pay for them. I'm not going to steal no more. I am delivered.
Okay, that's fair enough. Well, hey, I think we got we got some good stories out of this episode.
Yeah, we have fun.
So this exactly right here is why you are my favorite passenger because I love hearing these stories. Even though we talk and laugh about these stories all the time, it's always better to get the good storytelling out. So
It's fun.
yeah, you like I added that detail to my story
Which detail?
about the McDonald's. You like I added that detail.
That was so mean. I wasn't you never talked about that your sister was there.
Yeah, it wasn't 3 of us.
No, you always talk about you and your big bag and eating everything. And eating because I know that's true. Because I remember one time you wanted a bite of my veggie burger and you effed around and bit my finger.
Oh my goodness. I'm just getting exposed all day.
I'm never going to let that go because that actually hurt. And I told you, I said, do not take a big bite. I'm not. And then you're going to bite my finger. I said, this is the last time I ever shared my food with you.
I'm sorry.
That hurt.
I'm sorry. Jeez. Oh my goodness. See, and this right here is why we got to end that podcast, because you could just keep exposing me for the next 10 minutes. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut her short. But of course, as always, I love and appreciate every single time that you come on the podcast with me. So go ahead and let them know where they can find you.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at groovy.shigo. It's like Shigo. Wait, it is Shigo, but with 2 O's at the end. And if you know, no, I'm not gonna drop that Instagram.
Okay. Well, as always.
It's not a fake Insta. It's just like my hobby page. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, then you don't. And that's just what it is.
As always, if you are not following me, that is at ITYMD.podcast. That's on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music Podcasts, and everywhere else that you can enjoy podcasts. And of course, if you got some stories that you want to share, you got some stealing stories that you want to share with me. Me and my favorite passenger princess would love to read them together. So that email, itymd.podcast@gmail.com. And of course, the foolest of all bears, Ricky Montoya, signing off with
Shabba. Or Sydney, but just don't call me by my government name. I don't even let my own mom call me by that. So you can call me Love Bug if you like.
Okay. Well, so me and the Love Bug signing off of this episode. Of course, this is a Passenger Princess episode, 4, 5?
I don't even know.
I don't know, but you know what? It's all good. Thank you guys so much for everybody who tunes in, and peace out.
Bye.
Going too fast, 150 on a dash, bitch keep up, please don't crash, that's 5-0 on your ass, don't get stuck, my shit blasting up, window tinted, can't get caught, my bitch bad, but more leave you